Hello everyone, I'm Yadagiri Reddy and welcome to my channel HYR Tutorials. In this video, I'm going to explain about TestNG Annotations. So here, this is the agenda for today's session guys. So first thing is, what is an annotation? And next, what are the annotations available in TestNG and how to use those annotations? So these are the points I'm going to discuss about in this video guys. Okay. So first thing first, what is an annotation? So here, if you want to know more about the TestNG annotations, first we should know what exactly this annotation is. Okay. So this annotation concept is not introduced inside the TestNG. This annotation concept is introduced in the Java. So even before the TestNG is actually born, this Java is having the annotations concept guys. Okay. So TestNG has just used this annotations concept and it has released some annotations here. Okay. So what exactly this annotation is? So annotation is a form of metadata that can be added to the Java source code. So if you want to add or if you want to pass any information to the Java source code, then we have to use the annotations concept. So what exactly a Java source code is? So if whenever you open any Java file, what you will find package, then inside the package you will find the class, and inside the class you will find variables and methods, and inside the methods you will have the parameters, right? So these things you will often find in any Java file. So any Java file you open, right? So these things you will often find, right? So forget about the if condition and for loop and all, right? So these are the main things that you can find in any Java file. So these all are combinedly called as Java source code. So if you want to add any information to these things, then we have to use the annotations. So that is clear, right? So if you want to add or if you want to pass any information to these things, then we have to use the annotations. So that is the use of annotation, and the annotation definition is nothing but the annotation is a form of metadata that can be added to the Java source code. So that is the definition guys. So next, these annotations are actually introduced in Java 1.5 version. How this annotation will actually look like? So let me give you one example. So here @override. So this is the one of the main important annotations that is provided by the Java guys. So if you want to override any method inside any class, then we need to use override annotation. So here this is the annotation name basically. Okay. So when I say override annotation, that is because this annotation name is override. So this text represents the annotation name, and this @ symbol represents that it is an annotation. So this text is representing the annotation, right? So this @ symbol will denote that one. It says that okay, this is an annotation, like that it will say. So this is one example. I mean, this is a basic example of the annotation guys. So let me show you one more thing. So that is already provided by the Java itself, right? But you all have worked with that Selenium WebDriver, right? So first let me create one class file here. So I'll name this one as test. So you all have worked with the Selenium WebDriver, and in the Selenium WebDriver we have something called page factory, right? So in the page factory, what exactly we will do? We want to find the elements, but all the elements information we are going to add in the class level only, right? So I mean, you can consider this as like an object repository. So how do we add? We have one annotation that is find by. So we use the find by annotation and we will find the elements, right? So basically in Selenium, you can find the element using ID, name and all, right? So we have so many locators. So this find by is actually going to find the element based on some locator value. So that locator information also you can pass here. Okay. So let me say the ID is username. Okay. I want to find the username text box. So this is a web element and the web element is username txt. So instead of assigning some values and all here, I want to pass the information also to this one. So how do I do that? So this is a variable, right? So this is a variable and I want to pass or I want to add some information to this variable. So here I'm using the annotations. So this is one of the best example guys. So as we are already in the TestNG and Selenium concept, so I'm showing you this one. Okay. So this is one of the best example for annotations in the Selenium. So we can use find by annotation. So here you can see this @ symbol denotes that this is an annotation. So you can use the find by annotation and you can pass some information to the annotation. So this is the annotation name and this is the information that you are passing to this variable using the annotation. So this is how we are going to basically use the annotations guys. So that is about the basics of annotation. And next, what are the annotations available in TestNG? So inside TestNG we have around 15 annotations guys. Okay, 15 to 18 annotations we have. So what are those annotations? So the most important one is @test. So in our previous video also we have used this @test annotation, right? So first thing is @test, then @before suit and @after suit and @before class and @after class, @before method at the rate after method at the rate before test at the rate after test and at the rate before group and at the rate after group. And apart from these, there are some other annotations also. Those are at the rate data provider and at the rate parameters and at the rate factory and at the rate listeners and at the rate ignore. So these are some of the annotations that are provided by the TestNG guys. Okay, so every annotation is having its own purpose. Okay, so every annotation is having its own purpose, and these are the annotations. So if you count these 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So around 16 annotations we have guys. Okay, so if I miss anything, you can add those things in the comment section below. So you can mention those annotations in the comment section below. Okay, so these are the annotations that are provided by the TestNG guys. So in this video, we are going to see all these annotations. Okay, so not all annotations. So I'm going to show you till here. So these annotations only I'm going to show. So the next annotations, all these annotations I'm going to show in our upcoming videos guys. So because these annotations include a lot of concept. Okay, so if I want to show you these groups, before group annotation and after group annotation, I need to explain the groups concept. Okay, so inside the TestNG we have some concept called groups and group of groups also. First, if you understand that groups and group of groups, then only you will understand this concept. Okay, these annotations. And in the similar way for data provider, we will do one special video itself. And the similar way, these things also having some special purpose. So I will explain about these annotations in our upcoming videos. So when I am explaining the concept, right, then and there I will explain these annotations also. So in this video, we will see these annotations basically. So I mean, we have used already this concept inside our test classes. So that is why I'm going to explain these annotations here. Okay. So next, how to use these annotations. Now we have seen what is an annotation and what are the annotations available in TestNG, right? So next we will see how to use these annotations. So first let me open the Eclipse. So let me create one class file. So what I can do, I can create one Java class file here and I can add all the annotations, or I can directly create the TestNG class file also. So let me create the TestNG class file just for the time being. So I'll create the TestNG class file. I'll just type TestNG here. So you can see TestNG class. So what exactly is TestNG class is? So whenever you have at least one single @test method inside any class, right? So you can call that one as a TestNG class. So you can see, I'll just create the TestNG class without providing any information from here. I'm not changing anything. So I click on finish. So by default, it is going to create the TestNG class with at least minimum one test method. So that is called as TestNG class. So let me remove this new test and let me create one more class file here, TestNG class. So here you can see the annotations. So while creation of TestNG class itself, you can choose the annotations that you want to add these annotations into the class. Okay, so I want to choose these things basically. So before method, before class, before test, before suit, and after method, after test, after this suit, and these things. Okay, so I'm just going to ignore this data provider because, as I said, we are going to discuss about the data provider in our upcoming videos. So we are going to create one entire new video for this one. Okay, so the class name can be anything. So I'll just say annotations test. So let me click on finish. So you can see @test method also came with this. But there I did not select any @test annotation, right? So by default, whenever you create the TestNG class, @test annotation also will be included here. So let me add the sysout statements in everything here. So a basic sysout statement, guys. So this is a test method. So I will add one test method first, then I will show you with two test methods also. So let me copy this. Let me put it here. So very basic example, guys. Okay, I'm trying to execute all the annotations here, and whenever I execute that, I want to print something in the console. So I'm adding one sysout statement with this annotation name. Okay, so whenever this annotation method is actually executed, this line will be printed in the console, right? So that is the thing I'm actually doing. So let me copy this. So let me add this for all, and later I will change the text. So let me change the text. So this is a after suit, and this is a before suit, and this is a after test, this is before test, and this is after class, and this is before class, and this is after method. So before method is already added, right? So now we have added the sysout statement for everything, right? So now I want to create one XML file also. So let me add one XML file. So I want to create the TestNG XML, but I cannot directly create the TestNG XML. So I need to create the XML file and add the information related to the TestNG inside that, right? So I'll name this one as annotations test and click on finish. So this one is created, and for the intelligent support, that means for the auto suggestions and all, I want to add this doc type into this one. Okay. So let me add the doc type. So once we add the doc type, so whenever you type anything like suit, so it will be coming. Okay. So auto completion will be available here. Okay. So let me add any suit name here. So let me add the code to create one test case here. Okay. So what is the test case? I want to execute this test method. Okay. So for this, I want to add the code. I want to prepare the XML file here. So inside the suit, what we will have the test, right? So let me mention this one as test1. And inside the test, what we will have the classes, right? Classes. So inside the classes, you can have multiple classes, but for now, I'm just going to have one class file. So inside the class, what we are going to have again? We are going to have the methods, right? You can have multiple methods inside the class file. So inside the methods, again, we have something called include, right? So for every one method, you can provide the include tag. So let me align this. So let me add the class name also. So what is the class name? Annotation test. But I cannot directly use the annotation test here, right? So first I need to pass the package name. So what is the package name? com.hyr.test. So with the package name only, I need to pass the test name. Okay, the class name here. Okay. So next, what is the method name here? So for the test method, we will have some name here, right? So let me change this one to test method 1. Just a meaningful name. So let me copy this and pass it here. So here, let me close this one with the self-closing tag. So this is the basic example, right? So here what we have suit and we have test, we have classes. Inside the classes, we have only one class, and inside the class, we have one method. So this is the basic structure of TestNG XML, guys. So these annotations are actually used whenever you are executing any test with these XML files. So if you want to execute the test from here itself directly, you no need of these all annotations here. So whenever you execute any test within the class, you no need of all these annotations. But whenever you go for the TestNG XML file, then you need all these annotations. So is it mandatory? No, it is not mandatory. So if you just remove this before method, it doesn't matter. Okay. So in our previous class, so here we have used only @test, right? We haven't used any other annotations. So it is not throwing any exception, right? So these annotations are actually not mandatory. So these annotations can be used based upon our requirement. So what is our requirement? So if you want to execute any piece of code before executing the suit, then you need to add that code inside the before suit annotation. So by the name of the annotation itself, you can understand everything here, guys. So it is very easy. So if you want to execute any piece of code before executing the suit, then you can add that inside this before suit annotation. Okay, before suit annotation method. And if you want to execute any code before executing the test, then you can add that one inside the before test method. So in the similar way, if you want to execute any code before invoking this class, then you can add that code inside the before class annotation. So where is that one? So this one, before class annotation. So in the similar way, in every class, we have multiple methods, right? So before executing every method, if you want to execute any code, then you can go for the before method annotation. So where is that? So this is the before method annotation. So in the similar way for after things also, okay? So after executing one method, you want to execute some code, then you can go for after method annotation. And if you want to execute the code after the class is completed, then you can go for the after class annotation. And in the similar way, if you want to execute any code after the test is completed, then you can go for the after test annotation. And the next one is after suit. After suit completion, if you want to execute any code, you can go for the after suit annotation. So by the name itself, you can understand, guys. So all the annotation names are actually self-explanatory. So here you can see. So these things are available, right? Suit, test, and class, and method. So based on the TestNG XML only, these annotations are actually arrived, guys. not based on the TestNG class. Okay, based on the TestNG XML only, these annotations are actually arrived, but not based on the TestNG class. Okay, so by mistakenly I have clicked on run all, so you can see the execution is completed. So what exactly printed here? So first before suit is printed. So let me open the XML file here. So you can see first suit is invoked, right? So before suit itself, first we need to execute something, that is before suit. Then the test is present. So before executing the test, I want to execute something, that is before test. And next, inside the test, we have multiple class files. Okay, here basically I have added only one class file, but you can have multiple class files. So if you have multiple class files, so before executing any class file, this before class will be executed. And inside the class, you will have multiple methods, right? The test methods. So before executing every test method, this before method will be executed. Then the test method will be executed, and after finishing the test method, after method will be executed. And here basically I have only one method, so that is why after finishing this method, it is coming to this one, right? So this, it is going to execute after class. That means this class is having only one method, and that method is executed. Then it has to come out of the class, right? So that time it has to go for the after class annotation. Then after finishing the entire class, if you don't have any other classes, then it will go for the after test method. So after suit is also printed here. So this is how we have to execute the code. Okay, so I have shown you with one test method only, right? So let me show you with two test methods, then you will understand better. So it's very simple one only, guys. Okay, by the names of the annotation itself, you can understand everything. So I'll mention this one as test method 1 and this one as test method 2. So let me add that here. So this time I have two methods. So whenever this method is actually executing, before that method execution, before method should be invoked. But how many times this before method is going to invoke? This before method is going to invoke 2 times, because I have two methods, right? So before executing each and every of this method, this before method annotation is going to invoke. And in the similar way, this after method annotation is also going to invoke twice here, because I have two test methods here. Okay, and the test method annotation also going to invoke twice here, because I have two test methods here. So let me execute this. You can execute it from the TestNG XML file also, guys. So here you can see all the annotations are executed, right? So you can see the flow also. What exactly it is showing? Before suit, before test, before class, and before method. So for the test method 1, first before method is executed, then after method is executed. Then for the test method 2 also, before method is executed and after method is executed. Then after class, after test, after suit. So if you have multiple class files, again it will be repeated, guys. Okay, so this entire section will be repeated from the before class to after class. It will be repeated. So for every class, these annotations will be invoked, right? So this is how you have to execute the TestNG annotations. So you can replace the code that you want to actually execute. So in my previous video, I have already created one test, right? So let me show you that. So this is with a normal thing, right? So I want to show you with real-time example also. So inside this orange HRM, I have some method, right? So what exactly I'm doing? In the test method, I'm opening the Chrome browser, but I'm not supposed to open the Chrome browser inside the test method, right? So what exactly this test method is nothing but launch app. So we need to open the application only, but this Chrome driver part should be moved to @before test, right? So let me open this one also, then you will understand. Okay. Inside one test, we have one class file. Inside the class, we have multiple methods here, right? So I want to execute this test. So before executing this test, I want to first open the Chrome browser. Then I want to utilize the same browser instance inside all these methods, right? So that is my scenario. So let me refactor this one. So now what I will do, I will add before test here. So before executing the test, I want to open the Chrome browser, right? So first let me add the before test annotation here. Let me create the method public void. So I'll simply say initialize browser. So in the similar way, after finishing the test also, I need to execute the after test method, in which I need to close the browser window, right? So before executing the test, I need to open the browser window, and after executing the test, I need to close the browser window, right? So this will be my after test. And here this will be teardown, right? Teardown is nothing but the closing the browser. So let me import this. So this code, this piece of code will be moved there. Okay. So now here we are opening simply the application. So now this method is actually doing the justification, right? So this method says launch app. We are simply launching the app, right? So in the similar way, in the verify login, I have added the driver.click method, right? So let me move that one to this one, teardown part. And in the similar way, in the verify my information also, I have used the driver.quit. So let me remove that also. Okay. So I will execute both the test methods now. So what are both the test methods here? So first login and then verify information. So here also I have launch app only. So from the launch app, I have moved the code to before test annotation. So let me execute this. So let me comment this test to Google. I don't want to execute this. So let me execute this. So this is the real-time scenario, guys. So login is completed and it closed that one. And the next one is my information test. It has to verify my information is displayed or not. So login is completed and it has to click on my info. Then my info is displayed. So you can see two test cases are actually executed and both are passed. So before test, the browser window is actually opened. Then the test methods are actually executed, right? So launch app, then enter login details, then verify the login. So this is how you have to basically use the annotations, guys. This is a real-time example. So that is about this annotations, guys, TestNG annotations. So in my upcoming videos, I will show you the remaining annotations. So whenever I discuss about the data provider, I'm going to show you this data provider annotation. So whenever I discuss about the groups, I'm going to show you this groups annotation. And similar way, these other annotations also. So that is about the annotations here, guys. So we have seen what is an annotation and what are the annotations available in TestNG and how to use the annotations, right? So let me summarize one more time. So what is an annotation? Annotation is a form of metadata that can be added to the Java source code. Java source code is nothing but these things, right? So annotation is a metadata that can be added to these things. And next, what are the annotations that are available in TestNG? So we have around 15 to 16 annotations. Those are @test, before suit, after suit, before class, after class, before method, after method, before test, after test, before group, after group, data provider, parameters, factory, listeners, ignore. So these are the annotations that are provided by the TestNG. So how to use them? So this is how we have to use them. So this is a real world example. So this is one dummy example. Okay. So this is how we have to use the annotations, guys. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and also share this video with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. So there are a lot of new videos coming in. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.